This is assignment 3, conducting a family interview. This is Louise Sullivan. Interview between Mother Chelsea and celebrant, which is me. Hello Chelsea, and thank you for meeting me today. I realise this is an incredibly hard time for you and your family. The pain you must be feeling must be very intense.
Yes, I'm so sad and then angry. I can't sleep.
I'm so sorry that your daughter has died. I want you to know that I'm here to help you and through this difficult process, and I need you to know that we can stop at any time. We can meet again tomorrow or the day after. We have a bit of time as the funeral can't be until the end of next week.
Thank you. I want to do this. I want to honour my beautiful girl. And can I ask, why can't the funeral be on Monday?
Well, sudden deaths like the one that has occurred usually take a little bit longer because they are often reported to the coroner, and it usually takes about a week to get the report. So in this case, I believe that the coroner is trying to find out the actual time of death of Sue Ann. Is that correct?
Yeah, Susie was missing for a week before her body was discovered at Mountfield. In some ways it was a relief to find her, but horrifying that she took her life.
That week of waiting must have been truly awful for all of you. But I've heard many families feel that once they have a body, it makes it so much easier to start the grieving process.
Yes, that's very true. Every time I lie in bed, I think about how grateful I am that we found her and she did not have to stay out there in the cold.
Look, a mother never stops trying to protect her children, and I can understand that you believe that you have a very deep and loving relationship with Sue Ann. So I'd really like to make sure the service that I deliver captures the relationship that you have with Sue Ann and the essence of her. So over the next day or two, I'd like to suggest that you keep a pen and paper nearby and jot down some thoughts that occur to you that can go into the eulogy. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, well, we can talk about the eulogy later. For now, I'd like to discuss the funeral, as I'll need to ask you some basic questions about Sue Ann to assist me with my part of the service. Is that something we can do now?
I'll have a go. To be honest, I don't know how I'm functioning. I think I'm on autopilot.
Oh, I can totally understand that. Look, let's just see how we go. We can absolutely stop at any time. Okay, Chelsea?
Mm-hmm.
So Sue Ann's full name is Sue Ann Jane Jacobs, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What do most people call her?
Susie.
Okay. Does she have a partner?
Not that I know of.
Now, I've got her date of birth as the 14th of July 1998, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. She was born in Hobart?
Yes.
Her parents are Chelsea and Doug. That's
yes.
right.
Yep.
Has she any siblings?
She has a brother, Tom. He's flying from Vancouver tonight.
Okay. Must be very sad for him as well. So when Susie was a young girl, did she have any special interests?
She was good at dancing and softball. She hated school, and when she was at high school, she and her best friend used to wag school and go to the movies.
Oh dear. So was she interested in anything in particular, in a formal religion or any formal groups?
She practiced yoga a lot and was interested in Buddhism for a while after she came back from India. She read a lot of self-help books. She seemed always to be searching for something.
Yeah, I can see. Did she work?
She had a few part-time jobs, and she started doing a yoga teaching course, but she told me that she could not focus on anything. I think she had depression for a lot longer than we realised.
Yeah, I can see she tried very hard to get through the darker times.
Yeah, she really did.
Okay, Chelsea, well, we're pretty much done with the questions and answer section. Are you okay to continue?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone or anything special you want me to mention in my introduction, or Camille? Did she have a favourite pet or something in her life that she was really proud of?
I might need to think about that for a while. She certainly was her own person.
Okay, well, I think I've got enough to go on for now. If you don't mind, I'd like to focus on the funeral itself. Is that okay with you?
Yes, I'm okay. It is actually nice to sit here and talk about her with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm very honoured to be able to go through this with you. And I certainly like hearing about someone as special as Susie. So if you don't mind, we'll talk about the service. So in most funerals, there's generally a format which can be altered to suit your needs. So given that Sue-Ann was so young and is likely to have a lot of people who want to be involved in coming to the funeral, I've taken the liberty of making a double booking at the chapel. Are you okay with that?
Yes, thank you. The funeral director did mention something like that.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you how many funerals are set out, but please do not feel that you have to follow this suit. So I often start with a processional, which is usually accompanied by music. That can be people walking in with a coffin, or the coffin can be at the front of the chapel. It can have you walking in with the family. Most people will be sitting towards the back of the chapel, and there'll be an area for families in the front. Then I will do the welcome and introduction. The eulogy will be done, and it's often given not by parents because it's a little hard, but you can of course do it. But it's usually done by a family member or someone very close to the family. However, if nobody feels they can do it, I'm happy to do that also, and I'm also happy to help you write it. Often some other people want to say a few words or write a poem, so that's fine too. Then often there's a reflection. I'm sure if you've been to some funerals before, you've seen a montage of pictures, and that's a really lovely but very emotional time. And so we'll need some music for that, and you'll need to collect some photos if you want to do that. Then usually after that there's a poem or reading. And then there'll be some final words from me, which is often known as the committal. And then there'll be the final song when people leave the chapel.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close to what me and my husband have spoken about.
Okay. So have you thought about and talked to your husband about what sort of service you want, Chelsea?
I've thought a little bit about it, but I just get so upset. I just can't believe that this has happened, and organising the funeral just makes it all too real, and I can't face it.
I agree, this stuff is really very hard, and we don't have to do it today. Is there someone we can ask to help us with all of this?
Yes, I have a sister who could not make it today, and Ethan, my husband, is around, but he just won't talk about it. But that's okay. I think if we just press on, I'll be okay. But I do know is that I don't want any religious elements, apart from maybe a Buddhist teaching. Susie found some of those teachings, found some meaning in them.
Okay, well that's really good. That's fantastic. I've got something to go on with that. And I'm also glad you have some supports. Do you think your suits